Have you ever felt like blessings were just poured out upon us? Well, God promises that in one of his passages in the Old Testament about his extreme work in our lives. Good morning. I'm Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Thursday. When God is talking to his people in Malachi chapter 3 and verse 10, and we recognize he is that extreme God, he promises a great reward for those who bring their tithes and their offerings into the church. The verse says, "Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and try me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open for you the windows of heaven and pour out for you such a blessing that there will not be room enough to receive it." You know, this passage is preceded by an accusation from the Lord that his people have been robbing God. Can you imagine that? Such a practice by God's people? Well, yes, I can. When we deny giving back to God that portion of what he has already blessed us with, that is akin to robbing the Lord of what he is due. So the Lord commands us, his people, to bring all the tithes into the storehouse. Now, we recently pointed out that the storehouse in the New Testament times is the church. And that means your local assembly, not some TV ministry or some televangelist. Now, if you want to give a donation to them, that is fine, but don't give your tithes there. Your tithes are directed to the local church. That way, the church can minister to those within your community. And notice God's challenge to his followers here: prove me now in this. Go ahead, test me if you want to. Test what I'm saying. You give, and I will open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. Now, I didn't realize there were windows in heaven. Who in the world would want to see outside when there's so much inside? But there are those portals, I suppose, where God can send blessings to us here on the earth. And notice these blessings will be poured out upon you. I realize there are differing amounts of ways of receiving things, you know. We may sometimes feel like little gifts will trickle in from time to time, you know. You feel a few drops of that rain. Or it might be that there's a steady stream that you experience in your blessings where things are given to you. But as we consider this extreme God, the extreme God that we serve says, "I will pour you out a blessing." This is the picture of drinking from a pitcher or maybe even from a fire hose, you know. Sometimes we cannot receive all the things that come so quickly and so steadily. And he goes on to say that there will not be room enough to receive it. Now, probably your bank account is like mine. It's already full, so full you can't put anything else in it, right? Or you don't really need anything in this world in the way of blessings. But our extreme God has made this promise and even challenged us to test him. You bring all the tithes into the storehouse and prove me and see if I will not pour you out a blessing that you will not even be able to receive at all. I think we should test him. I think we should trust in an extreme God.